Good afternoon. Can you hear me? I need to put in my ears myself. Good afternoon again. Welcome to a breakout session with the winners of the awards, of this year's awards. The Women Innovators Prize, the Rising Innovators Prize. And I think the sound on the stage is not high enough. I'll try again. Is it better? Okay. And the mayors from the iCapital Awards as well. Welcome. Okay. Before we kick off, and perhaps there are people in the audience, or maybe online, we are hosting this online as well. There are before there are some questions from the audience, I would like to invite Mr. Malot, the EIC director, to give a brief introduction to the people here.
Thanks a lot, Frank. And first of all, my warmest congratulations to the awardees. Congratulations to all of you. I assume it was a long journey, but with a lot of pleasure now. Just to tell you that we are very proud on the side of the European Innovation Council, not only to provide this kind of awards, but with the impact that we are achieving thanks to you, in fact, because our ambition is clearly to change the innovation ecosystem in Europe, to turn Europe towards the objectives that our politicians have set to us, which is to make Europe the most attractive place for innovation in the world, to be the place which is the most sustainable, the one which is the most resilient, and the one where people would like to live. And the place where, of course, people are treated equally. And this is the whole reason, in particular, of the Women Innovation Awards. But also a place where we are creating more inclusive approach, more all-together approach, and this is the whole rationale of the cities or metropoles awards that we are providing. So it's very important for us that you have not only participated, but you will, after this, also disseminate, in fact, what you learned and what you will continue to do. So I just would like, on our behalf, to thank you warmly for what you did and what you will do for Europe and our citizens. So thanks you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mello, for the kind words. Well, let's see if there's anybody in the audience who has witnessed the award ceremony just a moment ago, who might have some questions to one of the people right here. Just raise your hand and somebody will come to you with a mic. And you can ask your questions. Not at this moment, apparently. None online, so I'll be the one asking the questions. Going down the line, and I'm not going to take this all afternoon, of course. Can you just, because you said it in the plenary session already, I believe, but can you just very briefly again explain what exactly you did that got you this award in just 1 minute, if possible, and then move on to the next person.
Is this on?
Yeah.
Yep. So hi everyone, I'm Eva Gumenishka from Humans in the Loop. Our mission is to provide better data for artificial intelligence, and we train people from vulnerable groups to annotate and prepare data sets. Primarily we're working with refugees and conflict-affected people from the Middle East and Eastern Europe.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Niamh Donnelly. I'm from Dublin, Ireland, and I'm a co-founder and chief robotics officer at Akara Robotics. And at Akara, we build robotics and technology to try increase hospital capacity by reducing the time it takes to clean a room, meaning that more scans can be done and more patients have access to healthcare.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ciara Clancy. I'm the founder and CEO of Beats Medical. We build technology solutions that help transform our management and understanding of central nervous system and rare disease conditions. We partner with the pharmaceutical industry and payers to put technologies in the hands of patients and help them achieve their global goals for changing patients' lives.
Hi, everybody. I am Rocío Arroyo. I'm the CEO of Amadix, and what we do is early cancer detection in blood before the symptoms appear to extend people's lives. So what we do is combining molecular biomarkers with individualized risk factors obtained from the medical health records to identify individuals at risk of having cancer. So all of them perform a test, and sometimes the tumor could be avoided. So we founded a company to avoid chemotherapy for cancer patients and to make an impact on people's lives through early cancer detection.
Hi, my name is Nina Granucci. I'm the CEO and co-founder at GreenSpot Technologies. And what we do, we produce fermented and upcycled ingredients. So we use the side streams of the first transformation industry that usually goes to waste and actually is the most nutritious part of the fruit and vegetables and cereals. And we are wasting that. So what we do, we ferment to really highlight the potential of these side streams to keep food as food, and that's what we produce.
Okay.
Thank you so much. My name is Didier Parakiel. I'm so excited. And I'm so proud to be in this on this stage with my colleague Arnaud Mercier. I am the Vice President of the Metropolis Aix-Marseille-Provence. Aix-Marseille-Provence, it's a young metropolis with 92 cities and 2 million inhabitants. I'm so proud, and Mr. Malo, I would like to make an indecent proposal. Next time you come to Marseille, and you will understand why we are the capital. Thank you.
Thank you, Didier. So my name is Arnaud Mercier, and I am the VP of Innovation at the Metropolis Aix-Marseille-Provence. And I'm with my colleague Didier Parakian, and we welcome you soon in our metropolis.
My name is Jos Wienen, Mayor of Haarlem in the Netherlands. And maybe to present you the purposes we have, Haarlem is one of the most intensely built cities in the Netherlands. The inhabitants per square kilometer are the highest. And we have to build 10,000 new homes the next years in the built area because we don't have any other area. But we want to do it climate neutral, and it means that we need the best techniques and that we need the best partners to make that possible. So our procurement is very much intended to have innovation and to make it possible to be a green city unless it is so much densely habitated.
Thank you very much. Anybody in the room in the meantime arrived having questions for one of the people on the stage? Not immediately, apparently. Let me ask the winners of the Women Innovators and Rising Women Innovators. Women in tech is still a difficult issue. We've seen a lot of improvement over the years. Here in Belgium also with some organizations that do a lot of efforts to improve that. What would accept for awards like these, for instance? Do you have any other suggestions on getting more women or girls involved in technology, innovation, topics like that? Whoever feels. Okay.
Yeah, so one of the things I think we should do is really target girls around the age of like 16 or 17. That has the highest rate of, leaving kind of math subjects or science subjects, and a lot of the times initiatives like in schools where you teach young girls about robotics, about engineering, and you actually have women come in and kind of explain what their role is and what they do every day. I remember not even knowing what an engineer was or not really understanding what they did every day, and then apart from that, not actually seeing anyone that was like me in those roles. So kind of giving visibility of female engineers and women in tech, bringing that to schools and letting kids kind of see what opportunities there are in engineering, because there's huge opportunities. Like if you get an engineering degree, there's so many different areas you can go into, and I think really kind of trying to target schools and girls at that age to try encourage them into that area to start out with is kind of one of the most important things.
I completely agree with what you said about initiatives at schools. I also believe education is one of the keys here, and also I would say at home, because I think young girls, also young boys as well, they should have role models, look at scientists, women innovators, but I think also at home, the way they play at home, we are still buying, I don't know, dolls, makeup, fashion. Our girls, they follow influencers based on fashion, makeup again. So they are not playing with different games related with robotic, with blockchain. So I think when they start playing, we should be able, we as a parents or we as uncles or everybody at home, also at the school, to teach them how to play with every type of games. And I like going to schools to talk to boys and girls, and when we ask them name some name of the scientists, I know we have talked about this hundreds of times, but they, besides Marie Curie, I think there is nothing else. No? So I think we should show them, not only in science and innovation, I think we should be able to show them milestones, big things achieved by women in every area. Of course, also in innovation, but in every area, because there has been a lot. And I try to talk to them about the curiosity. I try to talk to them about women that live or died 50 or 60 years ago, so very few time, but they have to fight to research at home, as for example Rita Levi. So we have many examples of women of this century, and they cannot research, for example, they cannot drink a coffee in the school of the lab because only man could enter there. So there are many, many, many examples of women with barriers and limitation only 50, 60, 70 years ago. So I think our girls should know that it's never have been so easy to be a woman and choose your own career. And it doesn't mean it's easy. It's not always easy. I think in this room we know that. But I think it's good to share examples of women with really difficult barriers at their labs or at their jobs.
I think just to build off that, like what you see you can be, and I think that's why things like this are so important. But coming from a scientific field myself, and to build off that point, female scientists and innovators have been overlooked in the history books for far too long. While this is a Women Innovator Award, I must say that I'm sitting on stage with 4 of the best innovators, men or women. And I think it's really important that recognition as scientists for who these people are, that there's more of that. And I certainly think that this is why recognition really, really matters.
Great, thank you very much. So, role models, good parenting, and rewritten history books. Those are the recipes. I was a bit surprised by your first answer, targeting girls at the age of 16, 17. Isn't that very late?
It is, yes. It's just there's statistics to show that the drop-off rate of science subjects at that age increases. I'm not too sure why. It's the same with sports. So I think just trying to catch them at that point is really important, because I suppose when you encourage science as a really young child, yes, it's really interesting, but you have to kind of, I suppose, not just at that point, but if you're going to focus on one area, I would focus there. You kind of forget when you're young, and then kind of growing up, you don't always keep that in mind.
Pull them through that difficult period.
Yeah, exactly.
I would actually say that it's never too late, because my personal background is in the humanities. I was never a tech person. I was never good at like STEM subjects. So I wanted to study history. I ended up studying human rights. So that's my degree. But for me, technology has been an enabler to reach things that I'm passionate about in terms of our social mission, which is working with refugees. And I've also discovered very interesting aspects of technology related to ethics, for example, in AI. So I would say even if you're not necessarily passionate about STEM, if you're passionate about humanities, you can still bring that into technology, enrich the technology field with that kind of like humanities perspective. And for me, the important thing is to teach people who are passionate about humanities not to be afraid of technology, not to be afraid of coding, because sometimes we just assume that it's something outside of our scope and out of our depth. But it is important to keep raising the level of digital literacy among everyone, no matter what their discipline is.
So pull them through and pull them in, as I said. When you were explaining about girls at that age dropping off, I just remember that my daughter, is age 16, dropped a more scientific study to go more to humanities, but I'll get her back on track again. Let's go to the people on the right-hand side of the stage, unless there's anybody in the audience having a question by this time. No. The award that you received reflects the efforts that you did to use technology in the way that the European Union would like cities and communities to do. What are you, according to you, what is the benefit of technology to, let's say, create a better city? What other types of technology, perhaps, are you looking at?
Yes, thank you. You know, this e-capital for us is a strong encouragement to continue to innovate. And to tell you the truth, we were a little surprised and not surprised to have this prize. Surprised because we start 22 cities, 22 territory all around Europe. And we were today finalists against two other cities, very hard competitors. Espoo, 4-time candidate, and Valencia, 2-time candidate. So first, I want to say they make a good job. But, you know, I'm not surprised, because on our territory, innovation it's our DNA. And I think why we win, because we have a special item, it's innovating diversity. If I have to give some recommendation to other city, if you want to win, you have to build concrete project with concrete people and with concrete ambition. You have to focus on project that impact the well-being of the population. That's very important. And we have to be enthusiastic, and we have to be unique. Unique, it's our position. We are close on the Mediterranean. We are close to Africa. As I told you before, we are unique because we are French metropolis, European metropolis, we are Mediterranean metropolis, and also African metropolis. We are everything we needed to be. So what we are going to do now, because according to me, we will have a before e-capital and after e-capital. So we have many projects. We want to create a metropolitan diversity incubators to push the startup to grow and to become scale up. Then we want in Marseille, on our metropolis, to create a Med-African capital e-prize. This is very important for us because we want to show success story on our territory. And another thing very important, we want to participate to a North African Innovation Fund. This fund will help the startup to grow. What else I can say? Why we win? Because we have a melting pot of innovation on our territory, and Arnaud is going to tell tell you what kind of innovation we have.
Thank you. Yes, as Didier said, we are the second largest metropolis in France, and it's lot of diversity and contrast in the and so you have to face many challenges, social, ecological, and economics. And so to face these challenges, we build roadmaps with all the ecosystem of the innovation of the territories. And what we support is our application for the e-capital. And so, for example, to try to answer to your question, for facing air quality challenges, our metropolis have developed the European DIAMS project that transforms the way our quality is monitored and managed by giving citizens, about 2,000 persons, on the territories, and communities, about 40 schools are involved in the project with individual sensor and collecting the data in order to inspire urban policies about air quality. Other lab for about diversity, maybe with the lab the possibility. There is not only technology solution in our project, but also the lab the possibility, the possible in French, is our in-house policy as lab dedicated to experimenting with new ways of designing and implementing social policies. For example, the lab allows the implementation of France's first participating operating budget in the Belle de Mai district in Marseille and in the city of Port-de-Bouc. But some example of innovation on our territory.
Mr. Wiener?
Yes, let me give you some specialities for us. The first thing is, if you want to be innovative, you cannot do it all by yourself as a city. You have to implement the contributions of the inhabitants and of companies to be the most innovative. And for example, we have a very innovative procurement system in which we try to stimulate all companies. If you want to work with us, you have to be the most innovative, the best systems to deliver what we need. So we are not first looking for the price, we are looking what is the result for the ecosystem, for example. That's one. So we try to bring it to ourselves from the market. Then the inhabitants. We want to be natural gas free. That means we need to bring the warmth and the energy to the people. But if there are inhabitants, and we have some neighborhoods in which the inhabitants said, we want to develop it for ourselves, but help us. And we think with them, we give them the permits they need, and they make for us the examples so you can do it. When you are enthusiastic and you have access to the best techniques, then we will give you the possibility to do it. And then we show it to the city and we say, this is possible for you too. And you earn money with that. So you save the environment and you earn money and the city will help you. So we are not bringing it as we do it, everything, we know it, everything, but we invite you to work together. And that is a wonderful clue.
Okay. Very valuable projects I've been hearing. Like the focus indeed on the well-being of the inhabitants, not just efficiency or wealth or things like that, which have been in the past. Would like to add something?
Am I allowed to ask a question? Okay. So I guess we've kind of started hiring a bit lately, and I just wondered if any of the other or anyone, like one of the things that's really important to us is that we're hiring kind of diverse teams and keeping a company culture that's diverse, and it's something that's like very important to us, but it can be really challenging at times. So I was just wondering if anyone has any kind of tips or advice in terms of hiring diverse teams.
Well, if I may, I would like to tell you a couple of things. One is what we try to find in the candidates is something like passion. So when they talk about your project or your company, they really believe in that, because I know expertise is very important. We are working in science and technology, but I think you should look for something else, for this passion, this excitement about the project. And the other thing I would like to say today, because I'm facing the situation now and it's not easy, we are collaborating with a program for training in innovation 50 disabled women in Spain, my country. All of them have very high profiles, but they have different limitations. Sometimes mental limitations, sometimes physical limitations. It's not easy for them to work in a company. But if we really would like to bet for supporting women with difficulties, these are the population. I mean, and what we are trying is hiring a couple of them every year for an internship and then try to maintain in our team. Of course, we are looking for this passion again. We are not hiring everybody. We do a selection process, and it's not always easy working with them, as I'm sure you can imagine. But I think they really have a problem. Nobody hires them. Everybody hires them for 6 months. Nobody wants to keep them. And I think it could be really helpful if this would be a European priority, or there is a way for the companies to try to hire them and to train them and to work with them, because they have many things to do, a lot of value to add to our companies.
It's a nice example. I think it is very important. I can give you one example from the city of Haarlem. We have quite big minorities from American people and Turkish people living in the city. And we have experienced that if we want to help them to live in the city and to be active in the city, we best can cooperate with the women. So we have looked for a union with women organizations of these minorities, and we stimulate them and we help them. We support them also financially, and we see that the effect is double, because they are very effective. That's one thing. And the second thing is, by giving them the honor and to work with them, men see, okay, they are important, and we have to give them that place. So it works two sides.
To answer to this beautiful lady, I would like to give an example. On our territory, we have a park called Arbois Science Park. It's a technopole. And the particularity of this technopole, it's the 4th in the world for clean tech. And in the technopole, we have more than 120 startups. And for example, in January, I will bring 20 of them to Las Vegas, to the CES. And the particularity of this technopole is the most awarded in the world. We have more than 30 awards in 5 years. So when the startup work together, we play collective. It means on Chasse en Meute, it means we all have traveled all together, and there is a lot of connection, a lot of meeting together, and they grew together. And we help them, we give money to them to help them to grow. And this is very important when they meet each other.
Is the mic missing?
Yeah, thanks. Sorry. Just one last thing. Out of my own personal experience, so in our company, we're 15 people, and we come from 8 countries. So we have Bulgaria represented. We have people from India, Tanzania, Philippines, Nigeria, plenty of others, Iraq, Iran, several more. But diversity is also like multidimensional, right? So we also have, I think 10 out of the 15 people are women. We have people from the LGBTQ community. We have people who are refugees and who are representing that community that we're working with. We have young people, we have old people, we have people with a lot of experience, we have people with not a lot of experience. So for me, it's really important not to focus on one dimension, but to really try to incorporate a lot of people from different walks of life. And sometimes I feel like when people talk about culture fit, it actually promotes bias more, because when you're interviewing people and you're saying, oh, okay, I like this person, they're a good fit for our company, or I would drink beers with them. You know, this is how guys usually determine who's a good fit for their company. I feel like this is actually contrary to the goal of incorporating people who you may not be naturally friends with, but are maybe amazing at their job. So I try to focus more on, okay, let's give people practical tasks, see how they perform, instead of just judging on likability, because that usually promotes your own biases on what people you like.
I would say the same. I'm a foreigner, so for me it was important to have the diversity not only in terms of gender, but also age, in terms of culture background. I mean, it's super important, and that's also we say exactly about the fit. I don't know if it's that if the team is diverse, it will fit. If it has the good mindset, so I think that's super important. Yeah.
Quick.
I'm going to give another example. They're very important for us. Diversity, innovative diversity. It's the backbone of our e-capital. We have another event created 5 years ago called Emerging Valley. Emerging Valley. It's some startup coming from all Africa. From Morocco, from Tunisia, from Senegal, from Côte d'Ivoire, everywhere. And they come every year. And we make some exchange between the startups, and we finance them, we help them to grow. And this is an example of diversity. And we create a démarche called Provence Africa Connect. We want to connect all the big company, but small company, to work together between Africa and our territory. And we are making huge business, and that's another example.
Right. Beautiful how the two price categories all merge into one story. Perhaps there's anybody else on the stage that has a question for other people on the stage?
I've heard that you're gonna earn a lot of money with this prize. What are you going to do with this money?
They're all going to come to Marseille.
Yeah, I actually want to share a personal story, because we were given the opportunity to either give our own personal bank accounts or the bank accounts of our organization. So that posed a very interesting dilemma for me as a founder who worked for 2 years on her own startup without paying myself a salary, and of course, like paying a lot lower than market rates even right now. But for me, in the end, I chose to invest it in my company, because, of course, that's what I'm all about. And I think that if I'm not the first person to believe that investing in this company is going to generate even more returns in the future, then it's not worth it to try to convince anyone else. So for me, I'm definitely going to be investing this in more growth and bigger impact, and improving our work.
I did not give the companies my account. No, so one thing I really want to do, so I'm a technical co-founder, and a lot of what I do now is more commercial related, and I'm kind of starting to feel that imposter syndrome again. I don't have a business degree. I don't have, a business background. So one of the things I really want to do is study for an MBA part-time. So that's probably my thing that I want to do with the...
Fair enough.
I have a question, if I may, for them. And there are a couple of things that haven't been easy for me during these years. And one of them is combining my personal life with my company. and the other is the level of uncertainty we believe with, meaning you don't know when are you going to close the company. You don't have a lot of cash on hand. And I would like to ask, how do you guys manage this situation? Or one of them?
It's not easy. I think that's the easy question. It's not easy, and I think in my case, I think we are an industrial setup. What not necessarily is the sexy thing for investors. We are food. That usually not the thing that makes investor dream. So for us was really being lean in the structure, really focusing what we have to achieve to go to market fast, and really trying to leverage money wherever the money is offered. And for sure, I think that we will be continuing this way in the future as well. It's really to, get all the money you can get, be fast, be focused, and do your best and stick to the guns. It's not very easy.
I think for me, it's as much about passion as it is perseverance, and I think all of us have similar journeys in terms of that. But I think, much like yourself, I think we're very driven by the vision and the important need that's out there. Our technology has helped a person with Parkinson's walk from the bottom of the UK to the top, another person with a neurological condition say their grandson's name again. These are the stories, these are the moments that when times gets tough, you have no choice but to continue to innovate. And when you deal with such great global needs as everyone on this stage is doing, it pales in comparison to the struggles that you face, because you know what you're doing matters and you know you have to keep doing it.
Absolutely. And on that note, and perhaps if there's somebody in the room. I have a question. Just a second. Your mic is not on yet.
Okay. Is it working now? Okay. Yeah, first of all, congratulations. And of course, you spoke about doing innovation with people. And I wanted to ask you, what's the reaction of people after, you take them through in this path of innovation? Thank you.
Well, if I can start to give an answer, I see that people are looking for it. Say they are very interested, and it is more difficult to say we cannot do everything in the same time than to involve people, because many people see the problems and they think for themselves about solutions, and they come, and we have to give the good impression we can cooperate. So it's not the point that we have to find the people who want to cooperate, but that we will be the city that give people the impression you can cooperate with them.
Perhaps time for one more answer. If there's
just maybe for answer. In Aix-Marseille province, we try to as I said before, our innovation roadmaps is co-designed with population, with stakeholders of the ecosystem of the innovation. For example, we make a club. It's called the Club de l'Innovation in Marseille province, and it meets 100 of stakeholders of the territories, the universities, the big companies, the accelerators, all the stakeholders, and we meet quite often to build the roadmap and to share and to try to answer questions about innovation on the territories. And for example, from these meetings, we develop an application, la plateforme de l'innovate Métropole Plateforme de l'Innovation in French. It's opened to a wide range of public and private partners, and it has become an efficient matching tool between our calls of innovation and local solutions. And it's about 60 calls for innovation and a lot of answer. So it's a good result, we think, for us.
Maybe one thing extra. We have, for example, a cafe where we invite people who have initiatives. They think, we think this is possible, that is possible. We bring them together with the people from the city, and then they can pitch the initiative, and we can link people together with the city to say, okay, this is your initiative, this is what you think is innovative, and then we can try to connect all the people who are needed to work with it.
Very, very quickly, Mr. Barak.
One key initiative is Euro-Méditerranée. We call this Euro-Méditerranée. In Paris, you have La Défense, Quartier d'Affaires, and in Marseille, you have Euro-Méditerranée. This project is the largest urban renewal project in Europe, yet located in one of its poorest districts. It's also a model for innovation, for the renovation of the most vulnerable neighborhood. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I think we'll need to wrap it up around here. Once more, our enormous congratulations to all the winners. And I'll just go out and have some beers with anyone you like.